Welcome to your practice. We're going to start out seated today, so please start to assemble your comfortable seat and prop yourself appropriately so that you can sit tall with ease. We'll begin and end our practice with some breath work. We've been working on the 4-3-7 breath. We'll continue that today. Take a few moments to settle in and feel both your right and left sit bone equally rooting down into whatever you're seated on. Invitation to ground the energy by placing the hands, palms face down on top of the thighs. Let your elbows softly bend. Let the shoulders relax down the back. If you haven't done so already, and if it calls to you, close your eyes. Feel the base of your skull press to the space behind you so that your ears stack on top of your shoulders. Let's take a few neutral breaths here. Just in and out through the nose if you can. One last neutral breath here, in through the nose, out through the nose. We'll begin to count the breath, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain 1, 2, 3. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain 1, 2, 3. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue to count your own breath in this ratio, but at your own pace. As you exhale the next time, let go of any counting. Let your breath return to neutral. We'll start with the neck and the shoulders and work our way down the body in our flow today. So start by tipping the chin in towards the chest and then pulling the chin up towards the ceiling, just as far as feels okay on the back of the neck. Relax the shoulders, open the throat. And continue with this breath pattern and head movement. And as you just move the head up and down, notice how sensation travels all the way through the spine. Bring your head back to center, chin parallel. Right ear to right shoulder. Draw the chin down towards the chest. Left ear to left shoulder. Drawing the chin up towards the ceiling. So you're creating a full circle with the head. Continue with this pattern. Come back through center. Breathe in. And then opposite direction, left ear, left shoulder, chin to chest, right ear, right shoulder, chin to ceiling. Continue drawing your circle in this way. Let's come back to center. You can take your hands forward to the kneecaps if you're seated on your shins or in a chair. And you can also take your hands forward to the front shin bone if you're seated cross-legged. We're just going to begin to articulate the spine in a seated cat-cow. So you'll pull the chest forward, arching the back, and then pull the chest in, rounding the back body. Continue in this way. Utilize your breath to guide your motion forward. That's your inhale. Your breath out to guide your motion backward. You don't have to go at the same pace as me. Feel free to make it slower, make it quicker. If you are seated cross-legged, as you come back through center, switch out so that opposite shin bone and ankle are in front now. And if you do need to change up your seat at all, feel free. We're going to start to draw circles with the shoulders and the torso. So hands again to the thighs or the knees, start to draw one shoulder towards one knee through center, and then that shoulder to the corresponding opposite knee, rounding out as you pull back. So you're just drawing a circle with the shoulders and the torso. Choose that direction to go in and continue with that same direction for a few rounds. Come all the way back up through center, big breath in. And then exhale, we'll go the opposite direction with our circle. Looking to get a sense of the whole spine and also the muscles and the tissue that surround and support the spine as you pull the body forward and as you round the body back. And come back through center, big breath in. Grow tall here for a moment. Let's add the arms, reach them up and overhead. Maybe you join the hands together and let them settle at the heart. Take a moment here to pause. Invitation to close the eyes. Invitation to set an intention for your practice, for your day, for the month ahead. Blinking the eyes open, we'll come forward to hands and knees. We'll stack the wrists underneath the shoulders, stack the knees underneath the hips. If you were sitting on any props, moving those out of the way. Extend the right leg back behind you, flex the right toes, float the right toes off of the mat. See if you can avoid letting the belly drop lazily towards the mat. So hug that navel into the back body, keep the core body tight. And with that in place, bend the right knee so the sole of the right foot's looking at the ceiling. Right knee doesn't move, you're just bending and straightening at the knee joint. So the only thing that's really moving in this right leg is the shin bone, the ankle bone, and the foot. You're just bending and straightening at the knee joint. See if you can keep that right thigh parallel to the mat. Trying to avoid opening the right hip towards the ceiling. Keep that right hip pointing down towards the mat. Let's bend and straighten for 2. For 1. Extend, reach through that right foot, grow tall through the crown of the head, lengthen out through the spine, and then set the right knee back down into place. Second side, breathing in, extend that left leg straight back. You're floating the toes off of the mat. You're keeping the leg parallel and you're flexing that left foot. You're pressing down firmly through those palms. Can you root through the whole palm? Keeping that left foot flexed, begin to bend and straighten at the knee joint. Shin becomes perpendicular with the floor and then parallel with the floor. And try to avoid opening or rotating at the hip socket. Left hip pointing down at the mat the whole time. See if you can feel the sensation in the hamstring and the glute of the working leg. We'll bend and straighten for 2. Last one. Re-extend the left leg. Pause here, breathe in, grow tall and long through the spine. And then exhale, left knee back into its place. Check out your hands here, spreading your fingers wide, rooting through the index and thumb knuckle mound of the palm. Curl the toes under, begin to press the hips up and back. Find your downward facing dog and feel free to explore this first down dog. Bending the knees right and left, relaxing your head, pressing the floor away, nice and strong through the arms. Try not to collapse in the forearms. Sometimes if we have a lot of mobility in the elbow joint, or if the arms have a tendency to hyperextend, the forearms get a little bit dippy, like they dip towards the mat. So see if you can press the whole arm bone, including the forearm, away from the mat. I'm kind of leaving my head lifted, but that's just because I'm talking to you and I'm teaching at the same time as I'm in the shape. So see if you can relax your head, lengthen out through your spine. It's like you're looking back up at your navel center. Let's take 2 more breaths here in down dog. Let's inhale and shift forward, find high plank. Pause here in high plank, big breath in. Nice round through the upper back. You're really pressing the floor away, nice and strong through those arm bones still. Can you float the right foot off the ground? Just a few inches, maybe even less than that. So you're just balancing on the left ball mound of the foot and both palms. Now set that right foot back down and just very steadily float that left leg up off the mat. You can always set the knee down if you need support here in this shape. No shame in that. Take care of your body and its needs. 1 more breath in here, and then set that left foot back down. Both knees to the mat. Lower all the way to your belly. Tuck the chin in, rest your forehead down on the mat. Roll your shoulders down your back body. Squeeze your elbows close into the sides of the ribs. Press the tops of the feet flat. Pressing into your hands, inhale, lift your heart, low cobra, bhujangasana. And then exhale, release, forehead touches the mat so that it helps you lengthen out through the spine. Inhale, press the floor away, little baby back bend, just to start warming up. Twice more, exhale, lower, forehead touches, reset. Inhale, press the floor away. Exhaling, lower. Inhale, press the floor away. And then as you exhale, forehead's going to touch for a moment here. And then we're going to walk the elbows forward until you come into Sphinx. So elbows underneath the shoulders or slightly forward of the shoulders if you need to decrease the sensation in the low back. And then bring your right forearm in at an angle, like a 45-degree angle, right arm in. And then bend that left knee. Reach back with the left hand. Can you maybe catch a hold of the outer left ankle with the left hand? Rolling that left shoulder and left hip forward. Kicking the foot into the hand a little bit here, lifting the chest up, increasing that sensation of your back bend. The big toe mound of your right foot still pressing down as you kick the left foot into the left hand. Nice and slow, exhale, release. We're going to change sides. So that left elbow, forearm down, comes across at about a 45-degree angle in front of the chest. Right knee bends. See if you can reach back, maybe catch a hold of the outer ankle. And if you're not binding the hand to the ankle, that is okay. Just practice bending the knee, reaching the hand back. One day those two places in the body will connect. You can also use a strap or a towel or a scarf, a belt, a leash, anything you have at home. If you've got a hold of the foot, kick a little bit into that hand, pointing that right hip and shoulder forward, deep breath in. Stay connected to your left foot to the mat. One more full breath cycle here. And then exhale, releasing. Coming back to Sphinx, curl the toes under. You tuck the tailbone under and hug the navel in until it lifts up off of the mat. So you're in this kind of hovering between forearm plank and Sphinx with the belly engaged. Now, option to stay right here, building strength there, or lifting the knees up, actually coming into forearm plank. Deep breath in. And then if you've come up to forearm plank, set the knees back down, come back to the belly, breathing out. Walk those hands underneath the chest. Curl the toes under, make your way up and back to downward facing dog. Just a reminder that you can always replace down dog with a child's pose if you need a break. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So our vinyasa flow today will consist of coming into Sphinx and then finding that bend of the knee and reaching back with a hand and option to bind. We're going to prepare for some standing balancing shapes in this way. So just know that when we move through vinyasa, we'll set up our Sphinx and then we'll take one hand back at a time and find that bind. One more breath in your down dog. From down dog, we'll lift our heel bones, bend our knees, gazing forward. Make your way to the top of your mat. Take a few moments here in your forward fold. A little soft bend in those knees, head heavy, back of the neck long. From your forward fold, fingertips to shins, find that halfway lift, rooting down through the soles of the feet, navel nice and strong, core body strong, Urdhva Uttanasana, your halfway lift. See if you can keep that halfway lift, bring the hands to the waist, and then pull that back body all the way up to standing, Tadasana. Breathing in, reach the arms overhead. Breathing out, hands to heart, Samastiti. Closing the eyes one moment here, reconnect the intention if you set one at the beginning of your practice. Why are you here? And what are you doing? What is the intention? Blinking the eyes open, sweep the arms out and up. Breathing in. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling, bending the knees enough to plant the palms, and then step back with the right foot. Set the right knee down. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. And then back up on the hips a little bit. Try to avoid a back bend, but instead think about finding length in that right quadricep. So it's a little bit of an action of tucking the tailbone under and then simultaneously pressing the hips forward until you feel that stretch in that active sense of squeezing the glute across the quadricep of the right leg. Let's set those palms back down. We'll step to high plank. Pause for a moment, get long. And then we'll exhale, we'll lower all the way to the belly with or without the knees. Bring the elbows forward. Find Sphinx. Take that right arm to an angle in front of your chest. Bend the left knee, reach back. Maybe catch a hold of the outer ankle. Take one breath in here to find the body moving towards neutral. So shoulder are equally pointing forward, hips are equally pointing forward. And then release that. And then second side, so left arm at an angle, bending the right knee. Find both shoulders pointing forward, hips pointing forward and down, breathing in, and then releasing. We'll take our hands underneath the chest, curl the toes under, make your way to downward facing dog. Two breaths here. Let's inhale and extend the right leg up and back. Bend that right knee, open the right hip. Squeeze the right heel bone towards that right glute. Finding a little bit of stretch sensation across that right hip flexor, down the back of the left leg. Re-extend the right leg, point the right hip down, pull the right knee forward, and place that right foot between the hands. Left knee to the mat. Sweep the arms forward and up, back the hips up a little bit. Feel that left glute engage, left quadricep stretch, tucking the tailbone under. See if you can keep all of that and then move the hips forward just a smidge. Inhale here, arms overhead. Stay for your exhale. Bring those hands forward and down. Step the left foot forward, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, fingertips to shins. Stay here, hands to the waist. Pull the back body all the way up to standing. Reach the arms overhead, breathe in. Exhale your hands to your heart, breathe out. One more time through, inhale, arms up. This is a variation of Surya Namaskar C, where we move through our lunges in between our sun salutations. As you fold, bend the knees enough to plant the hands. Step that left foot back, left knee to the mat. Sweep the arms forward and up, back those hips up. Feel that squeeze of the glute and the stretch of the quad. And then hands to the mat. Step 2, high plank. Pause, breathe in. Breathe out, lower to the belly. Set up for your Sphinx. This time, we're going to take that left arm at an angle first. Bend the right knee, reach back with the right hand. Pause here, breathe in. Release, breathe out. Second side, right forearm at an angle, left knee bends, reach back. Breathing in. Release, breathing out. Palms underneath the shoulders, press up and back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Inhale, left leg, sweep it up and back. Bend the knee, squeeze that left heel bone towards that left glute. Open that left knee towards the ceiling. Inhale, re-extend that left leg. Point the left hip towards the mat. Shift forward, hug the knee into the chest. Plant the foot between the hands, right knee to the mat. Just a breath here to sweep the arms forward and up. Feel the engagement of that right glute and right hip flexor, right thigh. And then exhale, sweeping the hands forward and down, stepping the right foot forward. Inhale here, halfway lift. Exhaling, hands to the waist, pull the back body all the way up to standing. We're going to set up for our balancing shape, Natarajasana, dancer's pose, which you've prepared your body for throughout our vinyasa flow. If you have wall space nearby and you want to try this with one hand to the wall, we're going to start out by shifting the weight on the right foot, bending the left knee back, just like you did on your belly. See if you can catch a hold of the outer ankle. Again, if that's not accessible, that hand to foot connection, I recommend looking around your space, or just really quickly going to retrieve a scarf, a dog leash, a tie, something that will actually allow you to bind your foot to your arm if it's not the hand itself. And then we'll turn the chest to point forward, right? So shoulders in one line, hips in one line. Your right hand, maybe it's holding on to something, like just gently pressing the fingers into the wall or extending into the space in front of you if you really want to work the balance. Whatever your foot is in, if it's the hand, if it's a prop, start to kick that foot into the thing that it is being held in, and then lean the chest forward without rotating the hip open. So try to keep everything squaring forward. Either that right arm stretching straight forward, or if like me, you have a wall right in front of you, maybe the fingertips just gently pressing into the wall. Stay rooted in the big toe mound of your right foot. Take one more breath here. And then start to come back up through standing. Gently release that left foot. Just kind of sway the body side to side for a few moments, releasing that side. And then we'll transition the weight into the left foot, bending that right knee back. Maybe the hand binds the outer ankle, or you switch your prop into that hand and catch a hold of the foot, loop up that ankle bone. Reaching the left hand forward to either a wall, or maybe it's a chair, or maybe it's just space, air in front of you. First, I want you to think about kicking the ankle and the foot into your prop or your hand. And then from that place of kicking, the chest starts to lean forward. Usually there's one side that really wants to open up and rotate, but this is not Ardha Chandrasana. This is not half moon. This is Natarajasana. So we're trying to square the chest and the hips forward in an equal plane. Press into that left big toe mound. Find your breath here. And then slowly start to release. Setting that right foot back to the mat, a little bit of a sway side to side. Let's come back to the top of our mat if we've moved away from it. We'll move through one more vinyasa flow and we'll put that back bend kind of work all together in Urdhva Dhanurasana bow pose. Inhale, arms reach out and up. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees enough to plant those palms. Step back to high plank. If you want, you can move through traditional chaturanga here, upward facing dog, knowing we're going to come back to Sphinx. Okay, so if you were in a hurry and you went to down dog, let's come back to Sphinx. Now, option to do this just like we've done before in our flow, one leg at a time, right? So maybe you angle your right forearm, reach back, bending that left knee, catch a hold of the outer ankle. If this is feeling good and accessible, you can take that right knee, bend it, reach back with the right hand, grabbing hold of that outer ankle. Okay, so now when I'm here, if I have both hands, if you're doing one side at a time, go ahead and switch sides. But if you've got both hands on each ankle, then kick back through both feet and see if you can press the shoulder blades together at the back of the body, opening the chest forward, kicking the thighs off the mat so the weight starts to center in the bowl of the front belly, pelvis. So I can feel my hip bones evenly rooted down as I kick my feet into my hands here. Whether you've got both hands on your ankles or one at a time, start to release. And then let's place our hands right underneath our forehead. Let the forehead rest. Let the glutes relax and the low back soften and lengthen. If you like, you can sway the body side to side. You can pick up the feet and sway those side to side. We'll take a moment to briefly press up and back to child's pose. 2 full breaths there, and then a full minute for Shavasana. For Shavasana, if you'd like, come all the way onto your back body. Feel free to utilize any props, including legs up the wall. Shrugging the shoulders down the back, a slight tilt of the chin in towards the chest. Invitation to close the eyes. Let your breath slow down. Let your body settle. Feel free to stay in Shavasana longer if you like. If you would like to close your practice with pranayama, we'll take 4 rounds from an upright seat. Take your time with this transition. Eventually make your way to that supported and comfortable upright seat. Let's take 1 neutral breath together before we begin to count. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Begin. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain 1, 2, 3. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain 1, 2, 3. Exhale 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last 2 rounds of this, counting on your own, finding your own pace. Let go of any counting. Allow your breath to return to normal. If you're still with me, joining the hands together, closing our practice by bowing the chin to the chest, taking a moment to honor our intention that we set. Remember the intention that we set. With reverence and gratitude for the practice, may we use the fruits to serve our highest good. May we share it with those around us that we love and who could use healing. Together we send love and healing to all sentient beings around the world that may be suffering. May they be happy. May they be free. Namaste. All right, thank you so much for joining. And I hope you had a lovely practice and that you return again soon. Take care of yourselves in the meantime.